Well, there is a lot of stuff going on right now within these federal agencies. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing everything in their power to purge the corruption out of the system. And there's quite frankly a lot of it. Now, the purge that is happening is getting massive pushback by the Democrats. We have people within these agencies saying, hey, we're not going to give you access. We're not going to give you the information you need. We're going to cut you off from the services. They're refusing to leave and the whole 9 yards. That's how you know that this corruption is deeper than anything that we have seen before. And I'm going to show you some pretty radical stuff in here. In fact, organizations like USAID is exposing themselves as nothing but a criminal organization. And I'm talking massive criminal stuff where these nonprofits are making billions of dollars a year and basically funneling it back to the Democrats in this massive scheme. And thank God we've got some people in charge right now that are trying to clean house. And of course, they're getting some massive pushback. So I've got a lot to share with you. Let's start first with what's going on in the Treasury Department. I'm going to get through a lot of these agencies. I'm going to try to go quick, but here we have, and this is on the New York Times archived file, Elon Musk team has gotten access to the Treasury Department's payment system. Now, the article goes on to say, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent gave representatives of the so-called Department of Government Efficacy full access to the federal payment system late on Friday, according to 3 people familiar with the change, handing Elon Musk and the team he's leading a powerful tool to monitor and potentially limit government spending. Thank God. It goes on. The new authority follows a standoff this week with a top Treasury official who had resisted allowing Mr. Musk's lieutenants into the department payment system, which sends out money on behalf of the entire federal government. The official, a career civil servant named David LaBrinque, was put on leave and then suddenly retired on Friday after this dispute, according to people familiar with the exit. So here we've got a guy, probably a very powerful Democrat liberal, who says, I'm not going to let you in the system. We're going to cut you off. We're going to put some pushback. And now he is suddenly retiring, but either way, they are getting their hands in there and they're finding a lot of corruption. Take a look at what Elon Musk said regarding the Treasury. He said at the Doge team and what they discovered, among other things, that payment approval officers at the Treasury were instructed to always approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist group. They literally never, ever, 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 and I got to emphasize that word, denied a payment in their entire career. So our Department of Treasury paying 6-figure salaries to people within this organization, all they did was rubber stamp everything. I'm not going to question where this is going. Done. Talk about a freaking cushy job. How corrupt is that? They're not even doing their freaking job by stamping everything, literally everything. So you can see why there was such pushback by a career civil servant, which, by the way, the New York Times doesn't even really dive into that portion. They want to make Elon Musk and everybody look like they're just putting loyalists in, which is not what it's about. He's going through our government with a fine-tooth comb, and he's finding all this crap. And it is literally amazing what he has found regarding all of that, right? Now, Musk aides even tried to gain access to sensitive Treasury Department system. They need that so they can make assessments and whatnot. But in this particular assessment of the department, here's what they found regarding how much money is spent annually, right? It says the sensitive system, and this is in this article right here. You can see the article Musk aides, and this is by the Washington Post. Musk aides gained access to sensitive Treasury Department payment system. But here's what they found. The sensitive system, run by the Bureau of the Fiscal Service, control the flow of more than $6 trillion annually. I think this is a system that we absolutely need to look into. And of course, it controls things like Social Security, medical benefits, and a lot of other things, tax refunds, and the whole 9 yards. But this is a $6 trillion annual industry. And the guy is saying, no, you can't look into it, and we're just going to rubber stamp everything. This is insane. Now, I want to hop on over to the OPM, right? where Musk basically took command of the OPM. And the OPM is basically a huge HR department, to put it very quietly, right? But he's kind of taken over that. And in his command to take over that, they basically Musk's team came in and said, hey, we're going to take over the system. And they locked a bunch of people out of the system so they could not sabotage the information before Elon Musk got his hands on it. And I absolutely see why he has to do this. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. But let me get through this first, and I'll dive a little deeper. But this is CNBC. Musk aides lock government workers out of computer system at U.S. agencies, according to Reuters. Aides to Elon Musk, charged with running the U.S. government human resources agency, have locked career civil servants out of the computer systems that contain the personal data of millions of federal employees, according to two agency officials. Since taking the office 11 days ago, President Trump embarked on a massive government makeover, firing and sidelining hundreds of civil servants in his first steps towards downsizing the bureaucracy and installing more loyalists. He's not installing loyalists. He's downsizing the bureaucracy. We're overspending our freaking money. And by the way, there is nothing but a massive amount of liberal, massive Democrats in there that donate highly to the Democrat Party. And we have seen this time and time again. But he's cleaning house of all of the political bias in there as well, right or left. Musk, the billionaire Tesla and ex-owner, tasked by Trump to slash the size of 2.2 million strong civilian government workforce, has moved swiftly to install allies at the agency known as the Office of Personnel Management, or the OPM. But two officials who spoke to Reuters on condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation said some senior employees at OPM have had their access revoked to some of the department's data system. And again, I believe that was done to prevent sabotage from happening, because this is what has been going on. They've been trying to sabotage their efforts. And here's this, by the way, and I think this is important. The Trump administration directs 70% cut to the internal OPM staffing program. That's a massive cut. So there's a lot of people that got to go, because I think we can have a lot smaller government and do a more powerful and better job. But look, the reason that I think that Donald Trump is rethinking, he's doing freezes, he's cleaning house, he's firing people, because under his first administration, he didn't do a lot of this stuff. And this is stuff we wanted him to do under his first run, right, as the 45th president. However, during that time, he got so much pushback from all of these agencies. If Donald Trump asked for information regarding he wants to look at the treasury details for fill in the blank or whatever, he got pushback from each agency saying, oh yeah, we'll get it to you. Months and months later, they wouldn't give it to him. They would sidetrack, sideline, make up excuses why they didn't have it, and we'd never get his hands on the information, right? That was the problem of Donald Trump's first presidency. So this time he's came in as a wrecking ball, and he's wrecking things up, and he's saying, you know what, screw you. If you're not going to give it to me, which I know you're not, we already tried this the first time around, you're fired. I'm going to go in there and get people in there who are going to give me the information and tell me what I need to do. And all I want to do is look over everything and find out how the finances are being spent. And it's really not that much of a thing to ask. You'd think this should be done on a normal basis. Like, hey, let's audit the IRS. Let's find out where our money's actually going in the Treasury. And lo and behold, we're rubber stamping anything. So Trump is going around the system this time because he got so much pushback the first time. And I think that's an important aspect that the mainstream media doesn't tell you, because they don't want you to know the truth to what's going on. Now, here's the most corrupt agency of all of it. That is the USAID, and he is completely dismantling that organization. In fact, I believe he's going to close it all down, according to rumors and whatnot, and put it under the State Department. And I say hell yeah, because there is massive corruption going on within this organization. Here's this. Monday afternoon massacre, this is on Zero Hedge, USAID employees placed on leave for allegedly circumventing Trump's orders. Officials for the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, had been placed on paid leave after allegedly trying to circumvent President Donald Trump's executive orders again, right? According to a memorandum sent to agency staffers on January 27th. This is why not a lot of Republicans who have taken office in the past have been able to do anything, because they get pushback from these agencies, and Donald Trump says enough is enough, right? But anyway, what these people actually did is they tried to keep him out of the office. like completely circumvent. No, you're not allowed in here. We're not even going to allow you in the system. And basically, I believe they had to get involvement from sheriff or somebody, and I'm blanking on who they got involved, but they had to get somebody involved in order to get them in there. But they eventually got access, right? U.S. aid officials identified several actions that appeared to be designed to circumvent the president's executive orders and the mandate from the American people, according to active administrator Jason Gray. As a result, then, we have placed a number of U.S. aid employees on administrative leave with full pay and benefits until further notice while we complete our analysis of these actions. So he's saying, look, if you're going to refuse to give it to us like you did the first time, well, you're on paid leave officially now, right? According to USAID's China policy lead Francisco Benscome, people are calling the Monday afternoon a massacre. And of course, you have a lot of Democrats out there saying, oh my God, it's a massacre. He's laying off all these people. Well, he's laying off the people because they're refusing to do the job that he's asked them to do and tasked them with. So of course, they are freaking out over the massacre, and specifically Representative Gregory Meeks here being one of those. You can see kind of how he's freaking out. But to give you an idea of what the U.S. aid is involved in, this is what they're spending their money on. They notably gave EcoHealth Alliance, that gave money to the Wuhan lab there, $4.67 million grant in 2021. Then stonewalled when asked for documents and handed Ukraine energy giant Burisma, Hunter Biden, a lucrative contract months after Hunter Biden joined its board. This is that organization funneling money for the Democrats that come back around to the Democrats, and gave $15 million to organizations linked to, there it is, Mr. George Soros. Bum, bum, bum. The Biden administration, this is from Representative Mike Collins, awarded $15 million in taxpayer funds to the Taliban, controlled Afghanistan to help distribute contraceptives. Really? Let's give $15 million for what, condoms? Right? That's what else this organization has been involved in. And that's not all. Here's kind of a breakdown of some of their spending, right? USAID spends $40 billion and over that of taxpayer dollars to fund foreign aid. $45 million to DEI scholarships in Burisma. We don't have freaking money to spend on that, by the way. $520 million for consultant-driven environmental and social government investment in Africa. These are Democrat babies that birthed Democrat. These are political things, right? Why is our money? I don't want my money as a Republican going to that, and I wouldn't want it for Republican causes either. And then 1.2 billion in awards to undisclosed. What? Yeah. We don't even know who the money really went to. It went to somebody for something. 1.2 billion your dollars. Meanwhile, we're $1 trillion in debt. This is some rather massively corrupt things. And the USAID website actually went dark, so it was offline. I believe it's still offline, but Zero Hedge USAID website goes dark as Trump reportedly plans to shift the agency under the direction of the State Department. Right, and here's the actual website down. You can't find it. I went to usaid.gov just now. And then this is their Twitter page, and all their pages there, all their social media is showing completely shut down. But USAID, right, essentially what I'm gathering that this organization has been all about is basically it's a money laundering machine for freaking Democrats. That's what USAID is. That's what it's become. Basically, activists create some obscured non-government organization kind of NGO, a non-government organization. We're going to create this, right? And the Democrats say, oh, I like what you created there, activist Democrat. We're going to fund it with a bunch of money. And they start throwing all their lavish money at this freaking new NGO. Then these activists do the bare minimum at the NGO to make it function and look workable. And by the way, these are NGOs that actively hurt the United States of America in general. And then the activists get paid from all that money, and then they take that money and give it all back to the Democrats. So activists create the NGO, Democrats fund it, they do the minimum that they can for this NGO, and then the activists get paid and give all that money back to the Democrats. And this is what the USAID has been massively used for. It's money laundering machine. It's a money laundering machine for Democrats. In fact, I love, here's Laura Logan's assessment. She goes, USAID is a front for the CIA. And together with NGOs like the Open Society Foundation, they have been using your taxpaying dollars to government resources as their piggy bank. Speaking of resources here we have Mr. Hunter Biden, what I talked about earlier, the money that was used to help Burisma and all of that, right? So lots of stuff. So there you have it, right? I've got the lovely dogs with me today. So they're here too. But I want to show you something else, right? Because I think this is a very powerful point. Miller went on with Jake Tapper and he exposed something really powerful, and that is the fact that USAID, 98% of the people that work there donated to Kamala Harris. Take a listen to this.
Million employees in the federal government. There's 2 million employees in the federal government. Overwhelmingly, the career federal service in this country is far left wing.
Bang.
The American people.
I don't know that to be a fact.
Yes,
Well,
it
I'll
is.
give you a great example. We looked at USAID as an example.
That's
98% of the workforce either donated to Kamala Harris or another left-wing candidate, just as an example.
okay, but let me just an entire workforce is having a
Wait.
No,
Did you
no.
just say that saying someone voted for Kamala Harris is demonizing them?
Yeah.
So according,
He gets into that a little more, but the bottom line, a majority of those in the federal government are left-wing, have donated to left-wing causes. USAID being one of those, 98%. And Jake Tapper doesn't have an issue with this, and he's okay with it staying as is, which is a highly political bias organization. This is why we have had so many issues with radicals in our government. And that's why pretty much every government agency has been after conservatives, Christians, Republicans, libertarians, anyone who was against their causes. That's why we ended up with such a nightmare with January 6th. In fact, Donald Trump addresses this. Take a listen to what he says here. And he makes a very powerful point about USAID here. Take a watch.
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
Good. We're going to get them out, and then we'll make a decision. They're a bunch of radical lunatics. And you know what? Elon Musk is opening up a can of worms over there, and he's even called it a criminal organization. I agree with him. Here is Elon Musk. USAID is a criminal organization. Time for it to die or end or whatever. Now, I've got a lot more to share with you today regarding this corruption, but for the rest of this video, I am bringing it to restrictedrepublic.com. I really want to encourage you, go over there and watch. I'm going to dive in to the FBI. I'm going to dive into Ukraine, another one of those potential laundering services for who knows, Congress, Democrats, Republicans as well. And I'm going to get into some of that, the EPA, all of that. But get to restrictedrepublic.com to watch the rest of this video. I've got a lot more that I want to share with you, and I got to do it there, right? Because we're very it's YouTube, right? And a lot of what's on here is censored in the whole 9 yards. So get to restrictedrepublic.com, use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get there, and you can get it for $5 per month. I really hope to see you guys there. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.